For the Good Life Research Network, Donnie and I have been trying a number of different things. Alongside what he mentioned, I was recently PI on a grant from Wake Forest's Educating Character Initiative. Hope College received an Institutional Impact Award for $700,000. And the goal of this was really to infuse character and virtue development into the research, the teaching, and the extracurricular student formation activities across the entire institution. And so we got this grant and we negotiated with the administration to really permanentize the efforts of character formation and virtue development during the time of the grant, so that when the grant was over, the institution really had bought in fully to the efforts of character development. And so we just completed the first year of this large grant. And in this first year, we've developed and established a character hub. We named a character director and used grant funds in order to buy down their teaching load so they could dedicate more time towards these efforts. We've hosted the first of 3 rounds of research grants for faculty. We've established a teaching cohort, so a group of about a dozen faculty who are revising their courses or creating new courses to focus on virtue and character development, and have committed to being a community of practice. And so really through research and through teaching fellowships, we've really tried to connect people to doing this work on character and virtue development, to promoting the good life. But we also worked with our president and our provost to permanentize these efforts and make them more institutionalized. And so part of the exciting work that came out during this first year, and we have 2 more years to go, is that as the college was moving through its strategic planning process, it actually decided to adopt character formation, so particularly generosity and gratitude, into their strategic plan. So that's now built into the ethos of the college for the next 5 years. And really that's the kind of the long-term lasting impact we're hoping for some of the practical applications of the work that we're doing with the Good Life Research Network. And so working together with administrators and leveraging grant funding that's related to this topic seems to be a natural progression of, what can people get out of this down the line? So in addition to creating opportunities for early career professionals to connect with senior scholars and to earn collaborative relationships where they can build trust and write grants, we do think that there's a practical application for this, both in terms of what a community of practice of teaching fellows and research fellows might look like, as well as what it might look like to get institutional support from provost presidents or college administrators. As we're writing new grants, we're trying to find ways to incorporate fellowships, particularly ones that focus on supporting early career individuals and pairing them with senior mentors or more established people across interdisciplinary fields. And so Donnie mentioned a number of those different grants that we currently have. There's also some that we're currently writing right now, or ones that we're involved with that are under development. We're really just trying to make this a standard practice for highlighting the accessibility of interdisciplinary collaborations with promising scholars, where we'll give them a stipend, we'll pay them, then we'll also pay the mentors for allocating their time to help develop and cultivate working relationships with these early career researchers. In my work at the Frost Center for Social Science Research at Hope College, we're really trying to continue to connect with other centers and other scholars who are doing this type of work, who have perhaps connections both to the communities in which they're located, in which they serve, as well as the faculty scholars that are doing research in this area. And so my position is a little bit straddling the basic and the applied. So we do research that supports community partners, whether that's local government or nonprofits or businesses, as well as internal research efforts from the college. But the other part of the work that I have directing the research center is to support faculty who are putting in grants and to build ourselves into their budgets in ways where we can provide them support that they might not otherwise have access to, where they can leverage the benefits of working with a center, such as the fully established Frost Center, which I direct, which will really increase their impact. And we can do it at a pretty reasonable cost. But that's another way that we can support the work of early career faculty and scholars is through connecting with centers who have already established infrastructure. We can be added on to their grants for a very small amount of budget in their overall proposal to really increase the rigor of their methodological approach and increase the likelihood that they'll be funded. We've done this a couple times. We have 2 successful proposals that have already been funded. We had one that was not funded. So 2 out of 3 so far is a pretty good track record, and we're working with faculty right now to develop additional proposals. We've also established and continued a long-standing fellowship here at the Frost Center where we buy out some of the faculty's time to really write a grant, to help them and develop them in grant writing, to give them a small research stipend where they can use that to cover research expenses. And then with that fellowship, at the end of it, they have a grant proposal that they submit. And so we're just trying to be creative about thinking all of the different ways where we can leverage existing institutional resources and provide support for when they're seeking external funding to really catalyze research in positive psychology and related areas, really germane to living a good life and to human flourishing. So perhaps a final invitation would be to consider the different ways where various opportunities may already exist in universities that you are a part of or have colleagues that are a part of. What are centers or structures or mechanisms that different universities or colleges might have that could be leveraged or repurposed or work in conjunction with some of the efforts that we're doing here? Sometimes what we're finding is even just a small tweak, adjustment or revision to an already existing fellowship or program or structure really is all that's needed in order to help give people the boost that aligns them with the vision that we have for our network of scholars and early career fellows. So we're eager to hear the ideas that you might have, any things that we're not thinking about, any opportunities that regularly come in or that you regularly interact with that you think we might need to be thinking about. We really welcome those and are grateful for your input.